I am a student, just a student. I have been learning and expanding my knowledge, but my core, fundamental interest and my subject of study has not changed, and it has remained the same over years. My interest is this life, this living, as we live in this day today, and to live a good life. I mean, a life of much more happiness and much less suffering and disappointment. In other words, this is my philosophy. I keep thinking about this, contemplating and inquiring and reasoning out. So, I am a philosopher. Phil means love, Sophie means wisdom. I love wisdom. This is who I am, not a doctor of medicine or a follower of a religion. No, nothing. And I am sure this path of wisdom, this dispassionate inquiry, takes me to a life of freedom, a life of fulfillment. So, I say the essence of my philosophy is living this life, and therefore, naturally it is the man, the human being, that is the central character here. It is a man-centered study, no divinity or idea or faith, nothing. I feel man's dignity and his spirit should be kept high above everything. In the human history of evolution and culture, man is the most important element. So, his spirit of individual freedom, his sovereignty is of vital importance. Man should not live under anyone's mercy or any big power or ideology or faiths whatsoever. He must be free to find out things for himself. Freedom is the most essential feature of a worthwhile life. Man should not feel petty and small before any man-made faiths and institutions and possessions and wealth and all that. He should not become a slave. But in modern times, for this unthinking common man, his false idea, say idea of a religion or a nation, gives room for violence. Whenever he has to confront another religious idea, this is a blind fire, there is violence. Man kills man. Every battle, every war is a crime. So, a correct handling of this fire is a delicate work of wisdom and patience. A good amount of intellectual work is required here. A well-rooted philosophy is an absolute necessity here. So, a reasoning, a doubting, a questioning is necessary. So also a need for acting justly, to employ courage, and also a need to cultivate a discipline, a need to inculcate serenity or tranquility. If you take a path of mindfulness, you see, then you see some light for all these problems. Here, man is the most important person. This life is most important here. So, there will be no war and no domination. This is surprisingly, you see, a meditative, a contemplative life, sometimes also called Zen, which is just another word for looking, observing, being aware, or paying intense attention. This is our path. There is no mysticism. Also, it is not anti-intellectual. And as some people interpret, The primitive Buddhism could be leaning towards nihilism or fatalism, but not our path, our Zen. Our path is laissez-faire, laissez-faire, a French word for allowing things to take their own course. No interference. I call this laissez-faireism. There is no dogmatic belief here, no sacred book or teaching, no teacher, no blind belief. The student teaches himself. He is himself a philosopher. He has to inquire, find out, and follow a discipline, and understand the reality of what a human being is. And it is not a foolish altruism. It is truly about man's productiveness, about his accomplishments. He is evolving. And now you see, while we go deep into this, we face yet another reality about ourselves. We have mirror neurons in our brains here. That means when you are suffering for some reason, I mirror it. I also suffer. When you smile, I smile. Why is it so? It's because basically we are all interconnected and interdependent. We are not absolutely independent or free. Want it or not, we are manufactured like this. So I cannot kill you. If I do that, I would be killing a part of my own. This is no altruism. This is a kind of selfishness, a noble selfishness, a reality. This means we have a collective life as well as an individual life. That we need to balance both. Our path is, therefore, we walk with this freedom, wisdom, a balancing act, taking care of everyday life in its fullest essence. No ideal, no disagreement, nothing. Right? It is balancing on 2 feet. Right? Thank you.